So last year, I stumbled across something that drastically improved my life, and I want to share that with you. So I'm not a big meditator, but I do dabble. And in these circles that I've been with, something kept coming up. It's sort of the big trend right now. It's called the jhanas. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but the name comes from this Buddhist technique of basically achieving a transformative state of mind. And in reality, it's very simple. It's just sort of shrouded in this ancient mystery, but in principle, it's fairly simple. But it was so transformative in my life that it lived up to the hype. So what is the jhanas? Basically, it's this. When you're meditating, any little spark of joy, any little ping of joy, you should focus your energy, your attention on that. And then you feel that, and it grows and grows. So you focus on that joy, any little bit of joy you feel, and that grows, and that leads to more joy. Pretty soon, you kind of build and build and build, and you have almost this overwhelming feeling of happiness where you're almost crying, if you can sustain that attention on the joy. So basically, you feel joy, and you focus your attention, your time and energy onto that joy, and then it grows. And we can actually derive a more basic principle from this, which leads to my guiding principle. What we learned from the jhana example is that stuff you focus on tends to grow. What you put your energy into tends to grow. And there's a corollary of this that I've heard stated and I sort of knew beforehand, but this jhana example really solidified my understanding, which is this. So since what you focus on tends to grow, then you should focus on what you want to see more of. It's almost too simple, really. But the implications of this, if you truly follow this and integrate it, will change your life, I think. So what are some examples? I should probably come up with more, but these are the first ones that came to mind. So we talked about joy. In your day-to-day life, if you focus on little bits of joy and you fueled it by putting your attention on that and let it grow, your day-to-day experience will be overwhelmingly filled with joy and gratitude and happiness if you can practice this, because you're putting your attention onto the joy and it grows. Okay, so one example I give of this is running away versus running towards something. So if you're trying to achieve some sort of goal, people have two motivations for that thing, typically. Either they're running away from something or they're running towards something. And I'm going to argue that running towards is what you want. So a lot of people, I think, operate in this mode where they're trying to run away from some fear or some bad outcome that they don't want. Their attention is fixed onto this bad thing, and all they want to do is run away. It doesn't matter which way they go, really. Is that their main goal is to get away from this bad thing because their attention is on this. And what do we know? That things you focus on tend to grow. They focus on this bad thing. And so that not only will this tend to grow, because all their energy is so they're running in one direction, right? But their energy and their focus and their time is running away from this thing. So not only does this grow, but they lack any sort of direction in their life. They sort of feel fixated by this bad thing. Contrast this with a different mode of operation, where you focus your energy and time onto a good thing. And as a result, you end up running towards that. So not only does this good thing in your life grow, but you're actually achieving something you want, which is this good thing. A really basic example could be this. Somebody trying to get a lot of money because they're afraid of being broke versus somebody aiming to get a lot of money because they want to use that for good things. So in this one, they're focusing on the money for a thing they really want. And they have a direction for that. They have a vision for their life. Whereas this one, they're focusing on the negative aspect of it and they're just running sporadically. A more concrete example is on social media. So for your recommendation feeds, the stuff you view, it will recommend more to you. So if you get enraged by something and you feed into that, it will show you more stuff that makes you angry, more political content, more radical things. And so people get stuck in this trap where they're seeing that, and they get pissed by it, and so they focus more on that. But as a result, they see more of that in their life. But it all goes down to, you should be focusing on what you want to see more of. Focus on the solutions, focus on joy, focus on the good things in life, and that will grow. Because you want the bad thing to be diminished, right? But if you focus on that, you give it energy, and it shoves you in all these directions. Whereas if you focus on what you truly want, you can articulate what you want and chase that, that will naturally kill this bad thing that you don't want. Yeah, so that's what I learned. I would try out this jhana thing as a quick example. You might not get it on your first round, but it's sort of a goal to strive towards. And just my day-to-day life is better because I feel more joy just being alive. And the final note is that you should actually try and integrate this and practice it. I'm hoping this was maybe somewhat informative, but that feeling of learning is not enough. You have to actually practice it. I know in my life, there are a lot of times where I feel like I learned something or had some kind of insight, and then I never integrated it with my life. And as a result, I didn't truly learn my lesson. So I keep seeing the same things. This is one where you really want to try and practice this, make an actual change in your life. So yeah, that's just a little thing I stumbled across, and it truly did improve my life a lot.